Hey guys, JD here. Want to do a video today on the topic. Wait, hold on one second. What's that? Oh, the mayor wants us to move on. Oh, it's all misinformation. Got it. Okay, thanks for letting me know. All right, guys, don't worry. It's over. Let's pack up and go home. But wait, commentators online are saying that the recall effort is just a political stunt. Oh no, people wanting to hold elected officials accountable. How political of them. Next thing you know, voters are going to want transparency or something outrageous like that. Saying the recall effort is just political is like saying voting happens during elections. Shocking stuff. Next, they'll accuse us of wanting clean rivers and public input to development decisions. So I want to respond to the mayor's recent statements in press, both 11 Alive as well as Franklin County Citizen news articles. For example, the May 22nd article says, quote, "It has become clear that there is considerable amount of misinformation and confusion regarding the situation involving Pilgrim's Pride and the city of Franklin Springs." Look, it's not about just that. It's about a timeline for years of contradictions and concealment, and frankly, likely violations of Georgia law. Okay, whatever y'all do, just don't look at the timeline. Okay, let's look at the timeline. So, given open record documents, we see a pattern emerging from the timeline. Fact 1. Attracting a rendering plant was not just exploratory. Starting right after the county overwhelmingly opposed bringing a rendering operation to Franklin County in 2021, the city of Franklin Springs began working with Rock Hill, all the way to an executed purchase agreement and eventually a lawsuit for one party not meeting the purchase requirements. Fact 2. Flash forward to summer 2024. Pilgrim's Pride engagement was ongoing at the exact same time EPD documents were submitting. Noting, 1. Planning for a wastewater flows from an industrial user. Secondly, proposed industry to participate in the funding, and no planned parks within the project locations. What we see here is a pattern starting of concealment and contradictions that emerged from 2024 through present day of 2025. Fact 3. During the IGA negotiations, the nature of the industry was not disclosed to the county Board of Commissioners despite being required under Georgia DCA code. Fact 4. During final negotiations and execution of the IGA, it was noted in meeting minutes that a plant is being funded by a company that is coming. This was February of this year. Correspondingly, during this time, concerned citizens' questions started growing and a pattern of concealment and avoidance began to emerge.
If you want to come to a Franklin Springs meeting and ask these questions, I'll be happy to answer. You didn't answer our last questions we asked.
Fact 5. The pattern of concealment continued all the way up until IGA negotiations, which indicates that it was likely negotiated in bad faith. Under Georgia code, if one party, Franklin Springs, knowingly conceals information facts such as industrial nature of a customer funding a wastewater treatment plant, that it undermines the principle of good faith negotiations. Secondly, while not a statute, DCA administrative rules require open collaboration between governments when entering into agreements affecting infrastructure, land use, or environmental impact. But wait, in the press, the mayor said he stayed silent because downtown development authorities have the right to invoke confidentiality when negotiating real estate transaction deals. So am I the only one to see this contradiction? So they had to invoke confidentiality for a real estate deal that was just exploratory in 2024 that had to remain confidential all the way up until 4/25 of this year. So being confidential on a deal that wasn't happening, but it was happening, but then it wasn't. Which one is it? So just to close this video out, it looks like the mayor deliberately concealed information about the nature of the industry during critical IGA negotiations. Or what's the motive? Well, 2 BOC members were critical in the original stop the rendering effort. Secondly, it's well known that the citizens of Franklin County do not want a rendering plant here in Franklin County, right? Disclosing the nature of the industry would have caused political blowback and potentially derailed Franklin Springs and the mayor's grand plans for a giant rendering plant here in the town. And then lastly, and most importantly, right, as a public official, not answering citizens' questions, telling them to show up to meetings, and then not letting them speak at those meetings, again, builds the case that this was an intentional, deliberate concealment of information from the public, from county officials, and ultimately from the will of the people. So I want to hear what you guys think. I'll see you down the river.